Sierra, keeping your old car could cost you more. A supply chain backup in the auto industry means your car's value is up. It also means you could have to pay higher taxes for it. Alex Littlehills is live in Chesapeake now, looking at just how much personal property taxes might have gone up for you in the last year. Alex?
Nicole, there are a lot of factors that go into this, behind this, the exact city that you live in, the make of your car, the year of the model. But in the end, the average price increases, at least here observed in the city of Chesapeake, could be in the hundreds of dollars.
But, everything else is going up, so wouldn't be surprising.
And it's all because the value of cars is up a lot. Local cities get assessments on how much cars are worth to figure out how much to charge you in personal property taxes. Collectively in Virginia Beach this year, the assessed value of all cars is up 40%.
We just haven't seen anything like it.
Virginia Beach Commissioner of Revenue Phil Kellum says that would mean the city gets an extra $60 million. He showed us this example. A 2016 Honda Accord increased in assessed value by more than $4,000 compared with last year. The owner would have to pay more than $100 in additional taxes.
Most people also expect that their vehicles will be depreciating assets. Well, this year we had a startling revelation.
Kellum says production.
There is a $600 yearly tax on your F-150. This law has already passed. It is not coming. It is not being debated. It is already collecting money. Millions of truck owners have no idea it applies to them. 4 states have already flipped the switch, and 37 more are lining up right behind them. The F-150, the best-selling truck in America for over 40 straight years, is sitting directly in the crosshairs. Here is what makes this worse. The people who sold you that truck knew this was coming. The banks who approved your loan knew. Nobody said a word. You drove off the lot feeling great, and now, quietly, without warning, a brand new bill is heading to your mailbox every single year for as long as you own that truck. But here is the part that should really make you stop. This tax does not just hit your gas bill. It does something far more dangerous to your wallet. So before you make another payment, ask yourself one question. Do you actually know what your F-150 is costing you? Here is what the mileage tax actually is, because the name alone does not tell you enough. Right now, when you fill up your truck, a portion of what you pay per gallon goes directly to the government. It is called the gas tax. It has been the way America funds its roads, its bridges, and its highway system for decades. You burn fuel, you pay the tax, the roads get maintained. Simple. That system is breaking. The federal gas tax has not been raised since 1993. That is over 30 years of inflation quietly eating away at what that money is actually worth. Meanwhile, cars got dramatically more efficient. Hybrids showed up and started paying almost nothing at the pump. Then electric vehicles arrived and started paying absolutely nothing. Zero. Not a single cent toward the roads they drive on every single day. The Highway Trust Fund, the account that pays for road construction and maintenance across this entire country, has been bleeding money for years. And the problem is only accelerating as more electric vehicles hit the road every month. So the government came up with a fix. Stop taxing what you burn. Start taxing where you go. That is the mileage tax. Instead of charging you at the pump, the government charges a flat rate for every single mile you drive. It does not matter what powers your vehicle. Gas engine, diesel, hybrid, fully electric, you drive a mile, you pay. Oregon launched the first program back in 2015, pricing it at 2 cents per mile. Utah followed in 2020 at roughly 1.5 cents per mile. Virginia came online in 2022. Hawaii started its program in the summer of 2025. 4 states are already collecting, and 37 more are studying or piloting some version of this fee right now. California's State Assembly pushed the concept forward earlier this year. This is not a rumor. This is not a political talking point, buried in a bill nobody reads. This is a system already running, already charging, already expanding. Now here is the part that changes everything for truck owners specifically. For an electric vehicle driver, the mileage tax replaces a cost they were never paying in the first place. For a hybrid driver, the impact is modest. But if you are driving an F-150, a Silverado, or a Ram pickup, you are still buying every gallon of gasoline. You are still paying the fuel tax baked into every one of those gallons at the pump. The mileage fee does not replace any of that. It just shows up on top of it. That is not a tax. That is a double tax. And truck owners are directly in the center of it. So why does the double tax hit truck owners harder than almost anyone else on the road? It comes down to three things working together at exactly the wrong time. The first is fuel cost. The average F-150 with a standard V8 is not a fuel-efficient vehicle. Neither is the Silverado. Neither is the Ram. These trucks are burning through gas at a rate that already costs their owners $3,000 to $5,000 a year, depending on the trim and how hard they are being driven. That money is gone before a single mileage tax bill arrives. The per-mile fee does not care about any of that. It just adds another line on top. The second is usage. This is the part that separates truck owners from almost every other group getting hit by this tax. Trucks are not weekend vehicles. They are not garage decorations. They are not the kind of car someone drives 3,000 miles a year and parks the rest of the time. Trucks are primary vehicles. People commute in them every single day. They haul in them. They tow in them. They run errands, take road trips, and put serious miles on the odometer every single year. 15,000 miles annually is conservative for a truck owner. 20,000 is common. Some owners push well past that. At 3 cents per mile, which is the rate Washington State has already proposed, 15,000 miles cost you $450 a year. 20,000 miles cost you $600 a year. Every single year, for as long as you own the truck. And here is where the third problem makes it significantly worse. Most truck buyers are not on short loans. They are stretched across 72 to 84-month financing terms, sometimes longer. They sat down across from a salesperson, ran the monthly payment number, decided it was something they could manage, and signed. That calculation was based on the costs that existed the day they walked in. Nobody at that dealership modeled out a mileage tax scenario. Nobody showed them what 5 years of per-mile fees looks like stacked on top of 5 years of fuel costs. In a household with 2 or 3 trucks on the same registration, those annual charges do not add. They multiply. 2 trucks at $600 each is $1,200 a year in mileage taxes alone, on top of $8,000 to $10,000 in combined fuel costs. The loan term does not change. The payment does not change. The costs just keep growing around it. That is the real trap hiding inside the mileage tax. And it is only getting more expensive from here. Let's start with the truck sitting at the very top of this list. The Ford F-150 Raptor R. Ford took the supercharged 5.2-liter V8 straight out of the Mustang GT500 and dropped it into a desert-running pickup truck. 720 horsepower. A truck that will do things off-road that most vehicles cannot even attempt. On paper, it is an incredible machine. The kind of truck that stops conversations in parking lots everywhere. And then you look at what it actually costs to own one of these trucks, and the admiration stops cold. The EPA rates the Raptor R at 12 miles per gallon combined, 10 in the city, 15 on the highway. Annual fuel costs sit at $5,750. And that number assumes regular gasoline, which it does not take. The Raptor R requires premium fuel. Non-negotiable. Not preferred. Required. Every single fill-up. Every single time. At premium prices. The truck starts at roughly $112,000. Monthly payments at current interest rates are already north of $2,000 before you have paid for a single gallon of gas or a single dollar of insurance. Full coverage on a six-figure performance truck is not cheap. Maintenance on a supercharged engine is not cheap. And now, stacked right on top of all of it, the mileage tax is not cheap either. Here is what the actual math looks like for a Raptor R owner driving 20,000 miles a year. That is not an unusual number for someone using this as their primary truck. At 3 cents per mile, the mileage tax alone adds $600 every year. Over a standard 5-year loan, that is $3,000 in mileage fees, on top of over $28,000 in fuel across the same period. Add insurance, add maintenance, add the loan payments themselves. Total annual operating costs on this truck can approach $10,000 before a single loan payment is even counted. But here is what makes the Raptor R the clearest example of how this mileage tax really works. This was not a vehicle that was just barely affordable before the per-mile fee arrived. This was already the most expensive F-150 ever built. The payments were already brutal. The fuel bill was already one of the highest of any pickup on the road. The insurance was already steep. The mileage tax did not create the financial pressure on the Raptor R. It simply arrived at the worst possible moment and added to an ownership picture that was already bending under its own weight. And the Raptor R is just the beginning of where this list goes. The Raptor R is the extreme version of this problem, but the trucks actually filling American driveways right now are not $112,000 performance machines. They are the trucks millions of people are financing today, and every single one of them is carrying the same mileage tax exposure in a slightly less dramatic package. The GMC Sierra AT4X runs the 6.2-liter V8 and posts an EPA combined rating of 15 miles per gallon. Annual fuel costs hit roughly $4,600, and that number requires premium gasoline. Not regular. Premium. At 15,000 miles per year, the mileage tax adds $300 to $450, depending on the state. That is on top of the fuel bill, on top of the insurance, on top of the payment. And unlike a collector car sitting in a climate-controlled garage between weekend drives, the AT4X is a working truck. Owners tow with it. They commute in it. They put serious miles on the odometer every single year. That usage pattern is exactly what a mileage tax was designed to capture. The Chevy Silverado ZR2 shares that same 6.2-liter V8, posts nearly identical fuel economy numbers, and carries identical fuel cost estimates. The fully loaded AEV Bison package pushes the price above $90,000. At that price point, you are already making significant monthly payments. Add premium fuel at nearly $5 a gallon, full coverage insurance on a $90,000 truck, and now a per-mile fee landing on top of all of it. This is a vehicle that quietly costs more per month than many people's mortgage. The Ram 1500 RHO brings over 450 horsepower, returns 15 miles per gallon combined, and carries an annual fuel estimate of $4,600. What makes the RHO especially exposed is how people actually use it. These are primary vehicles. Owners commute in them, run errands in them, and hit the trails on weekends. 20,000 miles a year is not unusual. At 3 cents per mile, that is $600 annually in mileage fees alone. Over 5 years, $3,000 in taxes, on top of over $23,000 in fuel. The Toyota Tundra TRD Pro rounds out this group. The real-world fuel economy often lands closer to 15 miles per gallon once aggressive tires and accessories are factored in. Annual fuel costs sit around $3,200. Lower than the others, but in truck-heavy households where 2 or 3 pickups share a registration, the per-mile charges across every vehicle multiply fast. Different badges, same fuel bills, same mileage tax waiting at the end of every single year. The mileage tax does not care what badge is on the hood. It does not give special treatment to hand-stitched leather or twin-turbo engines. It cares about one number only: miles driven. Some of the highest mileage vehicles on American roads are parked in the most expensive driveways. The Cadillac Escalade 5 carries a supercharged 6.2-liter V8 engine, producing 682 horsepower. The EPA rates it at 13 miles per gallon combined. Annual fuel costs reach approximately $5,600, and the engine demands premium gasoline. An owner covering 18,000 miles per year at 3 cents per mile pays $540 in mileage taxes on top of that fuel bill. Total annual operating costs, including fuel, insurance, maintenance, and the per-mile fee, can comfortably exceed $15,000 before a single loan payment is made. These are not weekend toys. Escalades are family vehicles, business vehicles, road trip vehicles. Daily mileage on a 13 miles per gallon appetite is exactly what the mileage tax was built to hit. The Mercedes-AMG G63 is the same story in a different body. It has a hand-built, twin-turbo V8 that produces 577 horsepower. It manages about 15 miles per gallon combined, and premium fuel is mandatory. Over 5 years, the EPA estimates a G63 owner spends $11,500 more on fuel than the average vehicle owner. Many owners treat it as their primary vehicle, using it for school drop-offs, airport runs, and weekend trips. Daily mileage, combined with a 15 miles per gallon appetite, is exactly the profile a mileage tax hits hardest. The Range Rover V8 starts above $130,000. It averages 17 miles per gallon combined, and real-world numbers run lower. What makes the Range Rover uniquely painful under the mileage tax is not just the fuel, it is everything else already attached to it. Industry experts have documented chronic electrical failures and service bills that regularly exceed $5,000 once the warranty expires. Stack a per-mile fee on top of those maintenance costs and steep depreciation, and the ownership picture gets harder to justify every single year. The Lamborghini Urus posts 14 miles per gallon combined, and annual fuel costs exceeding $4,900. Every drop must be premium. From 15,000 to 20,000 miles annually, the mileage tax adds $450 to $600 on top. Most people assume a Lamborghini sits in a garage most of the year. The Urus does not. It gets driven like a daily vehicle, which means it gets taxed like one too. These are not garage decorations. They are daily drivers. And daily drivers in a mileage tax world pay for every single mile. Here is the entry that nobody saw coming. The one that should make every electric vehicle buyer stop and think very carefully about what the mileage tax actually means. The GMC Hummer EV is fully electric. It pays nothing at the gas pump. Zero. Not a single cent in fuel taxes on any of the miles it drives. No tailpipe emissions. No stops at the pump. The whole pitch is built around the idea that you have finally escaped the cost spiral that comes with a gas engine. And then the mileage tax shows up. It does not care. The Hummer EV weighs over 9,000 pounds. Under the current gas tax system, this truck is what policy experts call a free rider. It uses the roads. It causes significant wear on the infrastructure due to its extreme weight. and it contributes absolutely nothing to the Highway Trust Fund that pays for all of that road it is tearing through. That is precisely the kind of vehicle the mileage tax was designed to catch. The math at the standard 3 cents per mile rate is straightforward. 15,000 miles per year costs $450 in mileage taxes. But here is where it gets worse. Some proposed vehicle miles traveled programs adjust rates based on vehicle weight. The reasoning is simple. Heavier vehicles cause more road damage and should pay more per mile to reflect that. At a weight-adjusted rate of 5 cents per mile, which policy researchers have proposed for the heaviest vehicles on the road, 15,000 miles costs $750 annually, every single year. But the mileage tax is not the only number working against this truck. Tires for the Hummer EV run well over $2,000 per set. At 9,000 pounds of curb weight, those tires wear down significantly faster than they would on a vehicle half its size. Insurance premiums frequently exceed $300 per month. Replacement battery costs remain in 5-figure territory. The vehicle has been depreciating faster than most buyers expected, with used values dropping sharply as the initial excitement faded and owners realized what it actually costs to live with a vehicle this heavy. This is the part nobody wants to say out loud. The truck that was supposed to represent guilt-free driving, and the vehicle that does not need a single gallon of gasoline, may end up among the most heavily taxed vehicles on the road once per mile fees take full effect. The mileage tax was never about gas versus electric. It was about making sure every vehicle pays for the road it uses. At 9,000 pounds, the Hummer EV uses a lot of road. The mileage tax is not something to prepare for someday. It is already collecting money in 4 states, and the infrastructure is being built. California's Assembly has pushed legislation forward. Washington State has proposed rates. 37 states have studied or piloted some version of this fee. The direction it is moving has never reversed. Mileage is already here. What that means for anyone financing a truck or a large SUV is simple. The number on the contract the day you signed is no longer the full number. It was never the full number. Now a new line is being added to the total every single year, and it grows with every mile you drive it. Before you walk onto any lot, stack the real costs. Not just the monthly payment, which is the number dealerships want you focused on, because it is the smallest piece of a much larger picture. The actual fuel cost at the real world, miles per gallon the vehicle gets, the insurance, the maintenance history of that exact model, the depreciation over the life of the loan, and now the mileage tax calculated at your annual mileage against the rate your state is proposing or has already passed. Real costs matter. Run every single one of those numbers before you sit across from a salesperson. Because the dealership already ran them. They just ran them in their favor, not yours. The 5-year total is the only number that tells the truth, not the monthly payment, not the sticker price. The actual cost of keeping that vehicle on the road from signing day to the final payment is what matters. 5-year total is the real measure. The question is never whether the truck looks worth it on the lot. The question is whether it still looks worth it when all those costs have been showing up every single month for years. Ask that question before you sign. Here is what all of this actually adds up to. The repo crisis and the mileage tax are not 2 separate problems happening at the same time by coincidence. They are 2 sides of the same squeeze closing in on truck owners from opposite directions. Prices climbed. Loan terms stretched to 84 months, sometimes longer. Insurance kept rising. Fuel costs stayed high. And now a new annual fee is arriving that nobody at the dealership disclosed on signing day because they were not required to. They still are not. Squeeze is the right word. On one side, millions of Americans are already losing vehicles they could not afford to keep. Repossessions at levels not seen since the 2008 financial crisis. Subprime delinquencies at the highest point ever recorded. A system built around getting you into a payment without ever showing you the full picture of what that payment is actually attached to. On the other side, a new cost is being quietly embedded into vehicle ownership across the country, mile by mile, state by state, year by year. And the vehicles carrying the heaviest exposure to that cost are the same trucks and SUVs already at the center of the repossession crisis. Mile by mile, the exposure grows. This is not about being against trucks. It is not about telling you what to drive or how much to spend. It is about understanding what you are actually agreeing to before you sign anything. Because the dealership already knows. The lender already knows. The only person in that room who is sometimes walking in without the full picture is you. Understand before you sign. That does not have to be the case. Before you step foot on any lot, download the free ebook, Avoid These 17 Cars in 2026. Depreciation data, reliability scores, the exact models mechanics see constantly, and the vehicle's insurance companies already know will cost you more than the sticker ever suggested. Link is in the description. Download it, read it, then go negotiate. The mileage tax is already on the road. The only question left is whether it finds you prepared or finds you paying,